I'm going to start with a poem. Now that we're about to embark on a war with ISIS, there are maybe 100 other Al-Qaeda groups out there. What about those? So this is called See 100 Girls for the Daughters of Nigeria Kidnapped by Boko Haram. See 100 girls huddled in the clearing of the reeds. Hear them reciting verses from the holy book of creeds. See them bowing softly, softly on their knees, bow their heads draped in hijabs in a cleaving of the weeds. Do you hear a threnody in the whisper of the breeze? Do you hear an elegy in the splitting of the seeds? Do you hear a rustling in the silence of the trees? Do you hear a liturgy, the liturgy of leaves? The mothers and the fathers listen to the sky. See the buzzard circling with a question in his eye. Listen to the threnody and the bending of the reeds. Listen to the elegy, the splitting of the seeds. Hear Muhammad weeping in the cleaving of the weeds. Hear the silence of the river, the silence of the trees. Hear the silence of the lion roaming the distant sky. See the buzzard circling with a question in his eye. A question to the river, a question to the trees, a question to the children bowing on their knees. Where is the broken father? Where is the Holy Ghost? Why are the children chanting past the Lord of hosts? Now, this is a revised version of the story of the woman, the adulteress, or the woman who was accused of being a prostitute in the Bible. Her name was Mary. Some say it was Mary Magdalene. Jesus intervenes. In this revised version that I wrote, she speaks up for herself. It's called Mary Magdalene and the Stoners. Mary did not wear a robe. They saw her dress, her ankle curve. She touched a nerve, an eyeball swerved. The men confessed they were stressed. They were distressed, they confessed, by her swerve, her ankle curve, her tilt of breast, the lilt of dress. They could not rest in their distress. They dragged Mary to the green, wanted all to see, be seen. Their gaze was keen. Strip her clean, she must confess. The men were stressed. The men of stone, eye of bone, picked up a stone, cold as moan. Mary saw the wife of Bath spitting back the grapes of wrath. She told the stones they were unblessed. They should swallow their distress. She demanded word of bone. Who was pure in world of stone? The stones, amazed, bowed down to bless Mary in her silken dress. The men confessed they were stressed, touched her palm, holy balm. And I write a number of articles inspired, a number of poems inspired by articles in the New York Times, and this is one of them. It's called Gardendale, Texas, and it takes place in an area of Texas where they're fracking for oil. But people live in these areas. The company is called Eagle Ford. From the glass of her tin-roofed shack, Mary Vargas can glimpse a miraculous world, as close as dust kicked up by trucks roaring black, as distant as the sky unfurled. Mary walks out her front yard where the chewed-off leg of a feral hog rots outside. A towering gas flare dwarfs her frame, scorching the moon, the howling dog. The scorpion has planted her fang in the heart of Eagle Ford, pumping shale into throats that hang, gasping for stars on ebony cord. Mary wanders in a patch of mesquite in country of spider, country of brush. The coyotes follow, hear her beat, searching for tap water, buzzards circling in a hush. In the country of gush, Mary returns to her shack to cook spaghetti for her 3 girls, a portrait of the Last Supper hanging on the black. Gazing at 3 girls, staring at the immaculate world, as distant as the sky unfurled. Diane and I just got back from England and Wales, and there's a lot in the news about the start of World War I, which started on August 4th, 1914. Not much in the newspapers here in the U.S. And this is in the voice of a lieutenant, a commander, a major, telling the boys, let's go to war, it's going to be over in a couple of months. It's called Orders from an Unquiet Grave, 1914. You will be home, boys, before the leaves have fallen from the trees, before the seas, boys, have swallowed all the trees, before the doors of bars have swallowed all the keys. You can march, boys, in uniforms, red as mud with gashes, blue as lace, black as sky. You can march with arms linked, wrist to thigh. You can breathe as one, boys. You can live as you can die. You can die for the ladies left behind. You can sigh for the eyes folded blind. You can bend your eyes on your knees saying grace for the flea that pecks a dimple on your face. You can race the leaves, boys, race the trees, race the wind that folds a mountain to the seas, race the river red as mud, blue as please, to the sky, to the mountain, to the leaves. Now, again, we're about to embark on a war with drones from the air without troops on the ground. Great. We can't seem to find any allies or people who are going to do this. So now, again, it seems like the drones are controlled by people in Denver and in Virginia, and they're told when to drop the next bomb. Our own boys aren't exposed to danger in this way. This is called pilots of the drones. The pilots, they wait instructions from the sky. Who will live? Who will die? Who will see the cattle born branded with the heel of thorn? A swamp of lilies oozing blood, what Noah saw before the flood, saw seeds of iron on the path, spitting out the grapes of wrath. The thorns that bit the brow of Lord, who saw the meek strung out on cord, while David plucked in meek accord to scales that spit the flame of Lord. They spit the flame of Lord on ashen field, with bits of flesh and tongue revealed. They watch with eye the sodden plain, left for some oracle to explain. This is another inspired by an article in the Times about a man who was on a hunger strike in Guantanamo Bay, and his name was Jihad Ahmad Mustafa Diab. Now, Jihad did not enjoy his stay at the resort on Guantanamo Bay, was ornery in kinky ways, did not want to stay till end of days. Jihad decided not to eat the last resort in this retreat. Neither pea nor roasty meat would he chew in his conceit. This was considered great affront to deliverers of slam and grunt, that grouchy man would not kneel and grovel for a gourmet meal. Authorities at bay then chose to stick a tube up Jihad's nose and pump freedom down his throat, democracy or roasty, quote. Jihad cried, I want to die. Authorities could only sigh, Jihad dear, you must live, pumping freedom through a sieve. His case referred to wiser court, the judge demurred in her report that addled Jihad could not find democracy so mild, so kind. I just have three more. This is called The End of Night. Now, we no longer see the sky, we no longer see the moon or the stars. We're bathed in light. Night has come to an end here in the 21st century. The end of night. Where is the land of shadow? Where is the night? We are bathed in glare of chrome. We are blinded by the light. It is light we fear, aluminum flare, glare of steel and silverware. the sterility that shines from hospitals, hotel signs. The offices that blink awake, the padded cell, the gilded snake that wraps its loins around the eyes where the twilight slowly dies. In the ebony of sigh, we once heard coyotes cry. In the rising of the fall, we once heard the owls call. In the dawn of fallen night, we once heard the eagle's flight. We see all, no, not at all, bathed in light's eternal pall. Now, Diane and I just got back from Wales, and this is inspired by the ballads that we heard, but this is actually inspired by a title of a song that I don't know the song myself, but I love the title, and I used it as the title for this poem. It's called Mary of the Wild Moor. Mary of the Wild Moor saw what she had been before, a dancer over mist of dusk, spinning, swirling through the dust. Dust of all that must decay to the shore of Carmarthen Bay. She waved to father and to mother in search of fields of one another. She skimmed the waves of day and night in search of fields of dark and light, till she reached Carmarthen Bay, beyond the dust that must decay, past the moon of Castle Rock, past the shore of Land of Loch. She met a beastly lad of sea, with whom she bore a wild of three, one for moon, one for sun, one for star, who grew above the land of tar. But Mary of the Moor was sad, for she lost her beastly lad to the Lord of night, who swallowed all that saw the light. Mary waved to wild of three, each became a branch of tree, planted in a lonely bower, merging to a whitened tower. Mary of the Wild Moor returned to what had been before, on the wind of swirling gulls to the valley of the fells. You might see her in mist of fawn, in the grey of shadow dawn, sighing past the wind of four, Mary of the Wild Moor. The last is also inspired by an article in the Times. You might all have read about the man who taught the kid to shoot an Uzi and got shot instead. Now this is a business called Burgers and Bullets and Burgers, and you can go on this trip from Las Vegas and you could visit the Hoover Dam, and then eventually you go to a shooting gallery where you have a burger and then shoot weapons of your choice. And children as young as 8 years old can shoot these weapons. Their parents are there. This is from the point of view of the man who got shot, who was guiding the child to shoot. Soliloquy of man who taught the kid to shoot an Uzi. I am the man, to my shame, who taught Rebecca, was that her name? To shoot an Uzi. Excuse me, please excuse me. I'm in heaven now. The coffee is rusty, the wine's salty. Some say this is hell. Rebecca and her mama, her pistol-packing mama, and her papa, her smartphone-packing papa, saw the Hoover Dam, hot damn. Then the last stop corral for bullets and burgers, beefy slabs, aromatic machine guns, land grabs, big sky, sniper rifles, grenade launches, do or die, squelch your fear. Kilroy was here. My skills honed in Baghdad, Blackwater. I tried to guide her, but the Uzis recoil. My country, 'tis of thee and thine and mine. Now I'm dead at 39. Drinking beer in a cabaret, I was having fun. Then I saw Rebecca. Now I'm on the run. Lay your pistol down, babe, lay your pistol down. Pistol packing mama, lay your pistol down. Sam Scaramouche, puppet with an extended neck, owner of the last stop, flip-flop day on Diamond Head, said, we lost a brother, almost a friend. This is the end, my friend. home on the range, where the buffalo roam, the Alamo, 54-40 or fight, bury my heart at Wounded Knee, my country, 'tis of thee. Genghis Khan, owner of indoor shooting range, rough gear and Sousa band, gift shop, beer, bracelets, roadside kitsch, Daniel Webster doll, Pecos Bill grill, Davy Crockett rocket, Barrett sniper rifle, Browning BKG, The Deuce, Terminator, Rambo 2, Roadrunner, on the loose. But that's all in the past, alas, alas. I taught Rebecca how to shoot. Now I'm shot. Coffee rusty, wine salty, recoil loud. Look for me in a nimbus cloud. Who am I? I'm the man. Not the lion, not the lamb. The brute, la bruta, the man who taught the kid to shoot. Pistol packing mama, lay your pistol down. Many thanks the audience for coming, the poets for presenting their poems, Angela Berger, Robin Hurst, Ptr Kozlowski for recording, Paul at the bar, your server, remember to tip your servers, and of course Barbara, Peter, Ron, and Katie. Okay, thank you so much.